Greetings, blessings, and good fortune, everybody. We are back. It's a new year, 2025. We're 2 days into it. We have absolutely, without question, a ton to talk about. I'm coming to you over Facebook, coming to you over Joe Martinez's 97.7 KCYP, the city. Yes, I am in the Otter's Den, but I'm giving props to where props should be given. 97.7 KCYP FM, McAllen, Texas. Okay? So here we are in the Otter's Den. Joe is on vacation. As it is, we are hopefully all either on vacation or coming off of our vacation. Hopefully. We can hope. Now, what I'd like to say, and there are many things we're going to talk about here. I've got all of the different outlets coming up. We got, YouTube out there. We got Facebook out there. All those, I don't know about good things, but that's what we have right now. Okay? So we're going to go into some stuff. We're going to start with crypto. Okay? We're going to do what we always do. We're going to stay with the tradition. But then I'm hoping that we're going to get a lot of participation as far as things for us to talk about. Because remember those things that we talked about in 2024, not so long ago? Those things that said, and people that said, well, you know what? Things are going to get difficult before they get better. Well, we're seeing that difficulty now. It's manifesting potentially on a day-by-day basis. But the good news is, God wins, first of all. Second of all, America wins. Yes, we are going to win. There is nothing that can stop what is coming. The good guys are winning. That having been said, will put us into where I'm going to go over the economic barometer. But first, and I'll mention this probably a couple times, at my side here you can see one of my wonderful Christmas gifts. This one by Mr. Jim O'Rourke. Yes, this is a solid, very nicely done flag. A combination, as you can see, of the American Stars and Stripes and the great state, the Lone Star State of Texas on the bottom. And here we have a specially crafted otter. The Bitcoin Otter, right there on the flag. Jim does a great job. He does sell these. If you want to get some more information about how you might obtain one of these, please hit me up. Okay? I'm going to go with Bitcoin Otter at secure.com and bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com if you want to contact me. See, the secure website is just that, more secure. If you would like to get into the secure email service, I can hook you up with that too. I can give you information. SEKUR, secure. Bitcoinotter@secure.com or bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com. That's how you get a hold of me. Or you can pop up a question here, get a hold of me on Facebook, hit me up in Messenger, hit me up right on Facebook, however you want to do it. Not a problem at all. I'll be more than willing to tell you how Jim can make a custom flag for you. Doesn't have to be like this one. He's got tons of them with the Army logo, the Air Force logo, the Marines. What if you're a veteran, whatever, if you like something particular, he can do the whole American flag, the whole Texas flag, whatever you want. He can do the waves in different patterns and stuff like that. But this is solid wood. Solid wood. Very, very nice. Puts the lacquer on the top of it. Spectacular. I'm trying to figure out a configuration where I can hang it, but for right now, it's just on the chair. Now, that being said, got no comments yet, but we're in the beginning of the show here. People are just starting to come on. Now, I'm going to go with an economic barometer, as it were, and we're always going to start with something that really moves the economy or gives us a feeling as to where it's going or how we might see ourselves in the near future. And when I used to start off the show, remember, it's 2025 now. We've been doing this going on 3 years. So I used to go with gold. No, not anymore. Not anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Not anymore. We're going with Bitcoin. We're going with the asset that more people want every single day. World adoption's coming, ladies and gents. You can't stop it. Jaime says, Otter just came back from 2025, and you'll be glad to know that your show is syndicated and highly watched on MSNBC and CNN. 2035, Jaime, you're killing me. They're not going to be there in 2035. You got on the wrong train. Yes, you did. CNN and MSNBC aren't going to be out there. Nice try, though. Nice try. Next time, you got to get on the other train. The one where, it's the Jaime show, and I'm your guest. Something like that. Because that whole CNN stuff is out of here. See, you got me going already, Jaime. So I'm going to go with the Bitcoin thing. $97,052 just a couple hours ago. $97,052 can get you one full Bitcoin. You don't have to get a full one. You can get portions. Well, you got $20, $50, whatever. That'll work. Gold, $2,668 for an ounce of gold. That's going up too. Silver is $29.79. Goodbye. Under 30, goodbye. I'll tell you right now, from what I'm understanding about silver, it's going to blow up. Hopefully this year. The riggers are going to be able to get arrested, hopefully, because it's the big banks that are rigging the market, and they're the ones that are keeping these prices down. They won't be able to do it much longer. Here's another barometer, if you were. Average mortgage rate, 30 years, locked, 7.01%. Not good. 15-year rate, 6.32%. Not spectacular either. Gonna take a sip of Arabica coffee with the never surrender. Okay, never surrender, which we won't. That logo is so apropos. We got some Bitcoin news here. From Bitcoin News, ironically, isn't it? Switzerland now one step closer to adding Bitcoin reserves. Ladies and gents, we are finding ourselves in a great position. Whether you have or have not invested in Bitcoin. And if you have not, well, again, please contact me. Hit me up on Facebook. BitcoinOtter.com. BitcoinOtter at secure, SEKUR.com, or BitcoinOtter.media@gmail.com. I'll get you back. Just please, I want the best for you and your family. And I think right now the best asset is Bitcoin. That's just me. Hey, Leo. Thank you, Tiger. I appreciate that. I appreciate you, Jaime, and whoever else is watching the show right now. Glad to have you here. And we're coming to the part after the crypto stuff, and even during, if you got questions or comments, like Jaime trying to take me into CNN and MSNBC. That was a low blow. However, in Bitcoin News, it says that Switzerland is now one step closer to adding Bitcoin reserves. In Switzerland, a country known for its neutrality and financial innovation, the interest in diversification with Bitcoin as part of the national reserves is increasing. Isn't it in all nations? That was me. Formal petition filed with the Swiss Federal Chancellery is pushing the Swiss National Bank to hold Bitcoin alongside gold in its coffers. There's two things about this, ladies and gents. Two things. One, we know that there is a race on for Bitcoin. Gotta have it. Gotta get it. Gotta do it now. Okay? This is for banks. This is for nations. This is for individual states within nations. And guess what? It's for you and me. You, me. I think, personally, we ought to take it seriously. But that's just me. Okay, so Switzerland is going to be adding to its reserves because it already has them. So that was the first thing. Second thing, here's the second thing I want to mention. This is proof that a bank can hold Bitcoin. What does that mean if a bank can hold Bitcoin? Does that not infer that a bank can deal in Bitcoin? Okay, if they're able to hold Bitcoin, can they not transact in Bitcoin? Yes, they can. Why don't they? I'll tell you why. Because Bitcoin is a direct competitor to banking. Bitcoin makes you the bank. In Bitcoin, you are the bank, not the bank. Now, many responsibilities come along with that, but the fact is, with freedom comes responsibility. And oh, are we ready for freedom? Oh, are we ever ready for freedom? Here's another one. More Hong Kong legislators push for addition of Bitcoin to reserves. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not kidding you. And this is again from bitcoinnews.com. HK, they call it HK, Hong Kong. Lawmaker Wu Zhijiang now joins Johnny Ning, who has been pushing for Bitcoin to be included in the city's reserves. If you're impressed by, my ability to pronounce these Hong Kong names, I'll just have you know I'm making it up as I go along. Their proposals point out the low transaction costs, inflation resistance, and modernity of Bitcoin compared to traditional reserve assets like gold and silver. What was I just saying about gold? I'm not saying it's a barbarous relic because I'm not one of those bankers who only want you in the Federal Reserve note, the privately owned Federal Reserve note. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that there is something, maybe not more shiny, but better on the horizon than gold. It's called Bitcoin. And I hope you've all at least looked at it to make an educated decision as to whether or not you want to get into it. This is again from bitcoinnews.com. Michael Saylor. Oh, we know him. And if you've ever watched this show before, you've probably heard that name, Michael Saylor, the MIT grad billionaire who does nothing with his venture capitalist fund but buy Bitcoin. They have billions of dollars in Bitcoin. Now, Michael Saylor says, in his digital assets framework document, Saylor outlines a vision to utilize Bitcoin and other digital assets in the U.S. economy, strengthen the U.S. dollar, and unlock trillions of dollars of growth. And here's the kicker. At the heart of Saylor's plan is a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Now, we've heard this before. But here's the new twist. For the U.S. Treasury, by holding Bitcoin as a national asset, just by holding the Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen, Saylor thinks the U.S. could create $16 trillion to $81 trillion of wealth because we have volatility in Bitcoin and pay off the $36 trillion national debt. Ladies and gentlemen, you might think this is impossible. It's a stretch. This Michael Saylor guy, this, that, and the other. But I'm here to tell you that this plan could work, one. Two, is not the only plan. It's not the only plan that people have to pay off that national debt. Now, many of us have thought, myself included at one point, that we could never pay off that debt. Why? Well, because the system is designed to keep that debt in place. Because with debt, it ensures that you and I, the American citizenry, are slaves. It's called debt slavery. And that is what the Federal Reserve is all about. Debt slavery. Keeping little nodes running around, creating wealth for them, as we may or may not make the rent this month, or may not make the car note this month. We might even be in a box. Doesn't matter. They're still going to make money off of us somehow. Or they'll kill us off and make somebody else pay for it. That's just the way these people are. They are, if you want to say inhuman, sure, but they are a parasite, a wart on the backside of humanity. Yes, It's well established. Now, this Michael Saylor guy that I just spoke about, he has a plan. And if you've watched his venture capitalist fund, MicroStrategies, or MicroStrategy, singular rather than plural, then you will see that he is a man of his word. And he's hitting it out of the park, ladies and gents, solely on Bitcoin. Solely on Bitcoin. Now, I am not a Bitcoin maximalist, if you will. I love the Bitcoin. I very much do. But a little sip here, in case you're listening in your vehicle and it's not even live, perhaps. I don't know. But when it comes to cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, though it has not flown the coop, though it has not gotten to a point where you and I can't profit from it by just merely holding it, it is rather daunting to expect someone to buy a full coin. Matt DiPiola, Trump has no plan to pay the debt. He will destroy the Fed and bring Nessera Gessera to the world. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. There are many people who have not heard of Nessera and Gessera. Nessera, I'm not going to go through the whole anachronism the N is for national, the G is for global, I think it is. So Matt says Bitcoin and XRP will pave the way. You know, I'm coming around to that more and more. Bitcoin is obviously the tip of the spear, but XRP, as described, the rails upon which international monetary financial transactions will be run, I think that's coming to fruition. I really do. I'm not a financial advisor, got no tie, no accoutrements whatsoever. I have a dad shirt, that's about it. In fact, this is a dad shirt that I really like because it resembles the one that a brother of mine used when there was an evil prick that went into a Uvalde school, and this brother of mine took care of it. Yeah, him and some other brothers took care of it. Won't go into that, but it's just a sidebar that this dad shirt reminds me of. Anyway, Trump's plan is going to work. But I think we ought to remember that Trump's plan is very layered, if you will. It's nuanced in ways that we won't see until it's fully implemented. So we're left now with assumptions. We're left now with guesses. What we are not left with is a lack of plans, because there are many plans to be put forth. However, the best ones, Matt, the best ones do not involve the Federal Reserve. The privately owned Federal Reserve, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to say, is on its way out. That's my opinion. You don't have to believe me. I don't know where my tinfoil hat is. But that said, to me, the last nail in their coffin was the addition of Ron Paul to the Trump administration. Ron Paul is one of the very few principled, honest man that served our nation in Congress. There's not too many left anymore. But he was one of them. And when they brought him back on, I was cheering. Kind of like when your star of your football team comes on. For me, it was like Josh Allen coming onto the field. You know, there's going to be some sort of fireworks. Touchdown, whatever. He's going to run. He's going to pass. He's going to catch it maybe even. Who knows? He's Josh Allen. Do whatever he wants. That's Ron Paul. That's Ron Paul when you compare him to the Federal Reserve. We're going to win, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to win. I'm not just here to pump you up. I'm here to give you information. That's why I'm here. I want you to understand what it is that we're dealing with, what it is we're up against, how it is we're going to win. And with that, I'd like to say, I want to give us our verse for the day. Okay, because you may or may not know that Bitcoin Otter Private Membership Association is a ministry. May or may not know it, but here's this. This is from 1 Peter 1:3. Therefore, prepare your minds for action. Be self-controlled. Set your hope fully on the grace to be given when Jesus Christ is revealed. Ladies and gentlemen, Jesus Christ was revealed to me in 1996. Ups and downs, all that. But I'm telling you right now, when he is really revealed, he is the default winner. But let him be revealed in your heart and your mind, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's part of the reason why I'm so optimistic. So when I tell you about these humans, Trump, Michael Saylor, Ron Paul, whomever, when I tell you about them, I'm able to give you confidence because I know the winner in the end game, and that winner is Jesus Christ. I'm with him. I really am. So in that vein, in that theme, we need to be self-controlled and we need to be ready for mental action. Now, we are in a war. I won't deny that. I won't deny that we're in a war. But what we're called upon, especially a guy like me, gray hairs, all that, what we're called upon to do is not yet, anyway, hopefully never, line up and shoot the enemy. But what we are called upon is to engage in this war. We must be digital soldiers. That is our calling, amongst other things, right? We got other stuff to do, families and so forth, jobs. But we need to fight these people because they're not going to give up. They're not going to give up trying to destroy you, destroy your family, destroy your finances, everything you've ever worked for. They're not going to give up. Why should we? We're this close to winning, ladies and gents. We're going to win with God's help. And he brought some people along for us to stand behind. Donald Trump, Ron Paul, right? You don't have to stand behind him. Maybe just stand with him. But I think they're bringing America to a great place. My opinion. So, along with these other things, I want to talk about some coins to watch, okay? These cryptocurrencies to watch. Now, I want to give a shout out to a guy that I personally pay dollars to. I pay money to this guy. I belong to his Patreon account, and his handle is Crazy for Cryptos with the number 4. Digital Dave, okay, is how he goes online. But Crazy for Cryptos is his Patreon account. So this guy, Dave, Digital Dave, has been on about so many things. I am happy to pay him. I'm on his silver tier. I think it's almost, not quite, it's like 18 something a month. Ladies and gentlemen, by the time this bull market is over, I'm going to donate. He's got an orphanage that he helps run and all that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll put it this way. $18 and something for me at the end of this bull run is going to be something that I'm going to say was worth more than every penny. So I got to give him a shout out. He doesn't give me a cent, and I'm not asking for one. But Digital Dave, Crazy for Cryptos on Patreon, will be worth every cent of your money if you decide to subscribe to his Patreon account. When people say that they give good content, they give good information and stuff like that, it's not always true, but in this case it is. So these coins to watch come from him pointing them out to me. And I'm saying this because the other coins that he's pointed out are doing very well. Very well. And it's not even the altcoin season yet. So let me give you this one. It's called Ventr, V-E-N-T-R. It's a venture AI coin. It's an AI token. They're new. Okay. They're I want to say they're 1 cent, but I want to get this right for you. So I'm going to look this up real quick. So we're going to go to CoinGecko. Normally we go to CoinMarketCap, but here we are. VentureMind AI. VentureMind AI, for all those listening out there. It's currently at 1.5 cents. CENTS. Okay. Hasn't been around that long, I don't believe. I'm looking here to see where it, yeah, it's not, it hasn't been around long. I'm trying to get, I want to say it's been around a year or less, I think. Not sure. It doesn't even give me a start date, but suffice it to say that it is on the bottom floor if you're into that stuff. If you want to get into something new. 1, 2, we're learning more and more that I am learning more and more that narratives drive markets. So what is a bigger narrative going into 2025 than AI, other than, deep state terrorism? And we'll get to that, sadly. What is a bigger narrative driving the market than AI? I don't know, Matt, maybe you will argue XRP being a financial coin. And we'll get into that too. That's one of those coins. Not XRP per se, but one of them. So one of the biggest narratives, if not the biggest narrative, is AI. And there are many options for you to invest in crypto with AI projects. My favorite, of course, is Theta. I don't know that I'll ever back off of that project because I don't see it failing. Theta has such, and you've heard me go on and on again about that. Hit me up if you want to learn some more info on Theta. So VENTR, Venture Mind AI. Okay. Now there's a way you need to go about getting it. It's not easy. It's not on the exchanges yet. Again, I can help you with this, but you've got to contact me. If I get into the weeds on a podcast, I'm going to lose the people who don't, how would you say, they don't appreciate crypto as much as some of us do. So I don't want to go into the details and get, in the weeds as far as how you can obtain this coin. But for free, I will tell you how to do it. I will show you how to get Venture, VENTR, Venture Mind Capital, or Venture Mind AI, I should say. That coin at 1.5 cents right now. Extreme leverage. If you have some money that you don't need to pay the rent, you don't need to pay the light bill, you don't need it to pay insurance or anything like that, I would be very happy to show you how to get it, to show you how to obtain that coin. Okay, so the other one. So we only have 3. We're gonna go on after this to current events and all that, but we have 3 coins to watch, right? VENTR. That's its ticker, right? Venture. VENTR is Venture Mind AI. The second one is, and I've done this before, but I want to kind of double down on it, is T-Drop because I've learned more about it. T-Drop is on the Theta network. Okay, Theta Labs is a brain trust, if you will, of very smart individuals who have partnered with huge partners, Google, YouTube, Sony. Yeah, the usual suspects if you want in media. But you see, media is going to be decentralized, and it's going to be things like Theta that do it, Theta Labs. So this particular coin, it's called T-Drop right now. They're expecting to rebrand it, if you will. So the Theta team is now in the NHL with the Las Vegas Knights. They are entering into, well, they're already in poker, right? The World Series of Poker. They're in some other things. And I think they're going into now, and the big deal is going to be, and this is where T-Drop comes in, the big deal is going to be soccer. So that's like the biggest, international game there is, soccer. And what T-Drop, the role T-Drop will play is they're going to have AI bots on chat message boards. So let's say you have an interface that people follow where they're watching the game and they're chatting on it. They're hitting up chats. Matt says, you can't get drop on Coinbase. No, you can't. Another one, guys, you can get it. Get in touch with me. I'll help you. The easiest way and most simple way is to trade T-Fuel or Theta for it on or in a Theta wallet. And again, I don't want to get into the weeds on this show. Suffice it to say that I'm here to help. Okay. Again, the Bitcoin Otter Private Membership Association is at its heart a ministry. We are a 508c1a association, okay? You won't get any tax benefits from donating, but I'm not asking for donations right now. I plan on, Lord willing, I get to retire like my friend Jaime, and I'm going to open up a crypto school. That's my goal in life. One of them, I got many, right? But one of them is to open up a crypto school. So I have a nonprofit ministry, just happens to have Bitcoin in it. Why? Why? What does that have to do with Jesus, Otter? Well, I think certain things come along at certain times to help free God's people. I do believe that Bitcoin might be one of those. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. But it's helping my family out right now. It's helping me out. Not that I'm cashing any in right now, but I'm telling you what, I have been re-energized just by looking over the horizon to the potential freedom that you and I can have if we just learn, if we just pay attention. So when I say, hey man, hit me up for info, I'm not going to charge you. This is a ministry. This is me helping people. This is me doing my part. Okay? I'm not going to charge you. I tried that when I was going to be forced into retirement because I refused the bioweapon. Everybody knows what the bioweapon is. I refused the bioweapon and I was going to be retired. So I had to start a business. And that's when I was going to make Bitcoin out of my business. And I will again. There will be things I'm sure that I'll sell or charge for or whatever. But this is not one of them. Ladies and gents, almost every single one of you knows me personally. I am not going to charge you right now. I'm not going to charge you. I'm going to tell you that. Okay? I want you to be in this. If you want to be. If you want to be. I'm not a financial advisor and I'm not selling anything. I'm only here because this is my calling. This is my calling. I might not even be good at it. I don't know. But I'm doing it. I'm doing it. No, you can't get T-Drop on Coinbase. Sorry, Matt. It's but I will help you out. Hit me up. You know multiple ways of contacting me. So T-Drop is the other one, and there's big things, big partnerships coming up with that one. Again, T-Drop is I'm not gonna show you or mention these coins if they're gonna cost you an arm and a leg. T-Drop is under a cent. It's 0.002721 cents. 0.00 means it's not even 1 cent yet. It's not even a quarter of a cent yet. Well, it's a little over a quarter of a cent. Okay? So where I'm going with this is this. If you have a couple $100 laying around, think about it. Just think about it. Think about what it could do. You might lose your $100. You might lose your $200. Yeah, you might. But what if you don't? What if it explodes? What if it hits the banana zone? Things to think about, ladies and gents. Things to think about. The third coin. What do we got here, time? Chihuahuas. Man, we're rolling. I haven't even got around to the current events put upon us by the deep state. The third coin is very much like XRP, and it's called XDC. XDC. Current price is, and I know it's on one of my watch lists, 8 cents. 8 cents for XDC. XDC is in a pool of, not so much that they're working with each other, they might be, but it's a category of cryptos that bases its use case off of financial transactions. XRP, Matt, being the biggest, baddest, and most known of those coins. Now, XRP at $2.41 is an awesome buy. I think it's going to do great things. XDC is at 8 cents. I don't think it's going to do as great as XRP, but XDC is at 8 cents, ladies and gents. Just want to say that. Now, those are our coins to watch for the week. Now, current events. Ladies and gentlemen, I have no doubt that all of you will automatically know about the situation I'm talking about with bombs and runaway trucks. Actually, both were performed with a truck. So if you have been under a rock and you haven't been listening to anything resembling news, then you might not know that somebody used a Cybertruck in Las Vegas outside of a Trump hotel to try and blow it up. Didn't work. But then someone did run through a crowd in New Orleans with a pickup truck, and I think he did succeed in hurting people. I don't know the numbers on that, the carnage. I don't understand. I mean, I understand, but I don't know the numbers. So I'm going to get a couple things out there real quick, and then I really want to hear the comments. Matt says BTC and XRP will pave the way. You can't get XDC is on uphold. Thank you. XDC is on uphold. Thank you for those who are looking for a place where to get it. Thanks, Matt. So this is from X, and I am considering very seriously not ever referencing, unless it's in humor, because that's all it's worth, mainstream media ever again. But this is on X. Eric Dougherty is on X. And he says, let's summarize for the "it's a coincidence" crowd believers. These are the two attacks, and this is what he's summarizing. 2 vehicle attacks on the same day within hours of each other. Both vehicles rented via Turo. Guess that's a rental agency, Turo. I think it's an online one, kind of like Uber or something like that for taxi. Turo is like that, but with rental vehicles. Both vehicles apparently use Turo. Both suspects, U.S. veterans. There's one more thing here. Both suspects served at the same military base. Now, for those of you who believe all this is just a coincidence, I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say to you. I'm just not going to say it. I don't want to be insulting on this show. I don't want to be someone who comes off as offensive to anyone. I don't want to be that way. So I'm just not going to talk to you if you believe that there was no connection between those two incidents. I think that it's sad that there are still people out there that can't see things for what they really are. Candace Owens on X. The New Orleans terrorist and a guy who blew up the Tesla truck both had served there at the same army base. Okay, this is becoming established. Given what we know of the history of sadistic government programs in our military, this brings forth more questions than answers. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to submit this to you. Not only is Candace Owens right, she almost always is, it brings up many, many questions. But with many people, like the ones I was just talking about, that think it's a coincidence, that all these similarities are just a coincidence in these two attacks, it brings up the wrong questions in their minds. Meaning, who did this? Why did they do it? Okay, those are not necessarily the wrong questions, but if you ask them, you're not going to get the right answers. Sue, nice flag. Yeah, I went over that in the beginning. I'll do it at the middle here. This flag, ladies and gents, was made to me personally in a gift, Christmas gift, by Jim O'Rourke. Yes, and we've got a little shifting of it here. I need to find a way to mount it. But for right now, in all its glory is Old Glory on the top, the Lone Star State on the bottom, and the Bitcoin Otter right here. Awesome flag. Solid wood. Solid wood. I mean, you get that same sound from my head, but I don't want a headache. Awesome. Awesome craftsmanship. Jim O'Rourke. You want his info? Hit me up. Same ways I've been telling you to hit me up for crypto stuff. Hit me up for this stuff. Okay? He won't kill you. He'll give you a good deal. Great, as you can see, great craftsmanship. This thing is solid. This thing, once I do hang it up, I'm going to have to figure out a way to do the show from the Otter's Den here or it's mobile too. Bring it to the studio. Who knows? But I just wanted to show this off in my first Bitcoin Otter show of 2025. Yes. Thank you, Jim. Much appreciated. So thank you, Sue, for reminding me to update that at the half. Like my mentor, Joe Martinez, teaches me, and I often forget. Now, the usual suspects always want us answering questions, just not the right ones. So what would be the right question of these two events? What would be the right question? I'll give you a few. Here's number one. Who is the real enemy? Oh, they're going to say ISIS because there was an ISIS flag on the back of that guy's pickup. The Otter doghouse. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Sue. Look at this. My very own sister. You wouldn't expect too much creativity knowing me, but look at this. Look at what she did for me here. I got to put that one up here. Sorry, Jim. I'm going to eclipse this for just a minute here. Just a little bit. We're going to put that up there. This is from my sister, Sue. Okay? She makes these things. Look at that. Look at that. Try to get it without glare. Look at that. That is awesome. The Bitcoin Otter, the doghouse. Do you know why? I'm going to tell him, Sue. I know you were wondering if I was going to mention it. Do you know why they say doghouse? Because male otters are called dogs. Go figure. Dog. Go figure. Yes. Awesome. Thank you, Sue. Thank you. These are Christmas gifts. And I have to admit that me being the bad brother that I am, I haven't sent her a gift yet. So you got to tell me what you want, Sue. You got to tell me what you want. Because this was awesome. So is this, Jim. Thank you very much. And again, you guys like this stuff? You want some of this stuff? Hit me up. bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com, or hit me up on Facebook, or hit me up on bitcoinotter@secure, SEKUR.com. Now, when I'm saying the questions that we need to ask about these two incidents, these two terrorist acts, okay? Number one, who is the agency? Who is the enemy? Who is behind these attacks? That to me is very easy. It's all a matter of belief. Do you believe? Do you believe that the same people who foisted a pandemic upon us in 2020, the same people that undercut our currency to the tune of 98% loss since when the U.S. dollar was initiated by the Federal Reserve, 1913, 98%, point something percent of our dollar has been devalued, stolen from us. If you believe those people, okay, have done so many of these things, then you can understand what I'm going to tell you when the international criminal syndicate, the Illuminati, the Khazarian mafia, whatever you want to call them, the deep state, whatever you want to call them, the usual suspects, that is who our enemy is. Oh, we have different enemies. We most certainly have different enemies, but they are the main ones, okay? Some people call them the elite. I don't dignify them with that. I call them the parasitic class because they are parasites on humanity. They hate humans. Why do they hate humans, you might ask? See, now we're getting to the right questions. If I do say so myself. Hey, Sue says thank you for the plug. And she put her link right there. Heartofthewood.com. www.heartofthewood.com. Awesome, Sue. Thank you for throwing that up there. So if you want some of these plaques, and she can hook you up with Jim's work too. But these plaques, I've got two of them. This one she did for my wife. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. It's hard to get it without the glare. But look, craftsmanship, color. Look at that. This one even comes with a place. Well, I've already got the deal here to hang it with. Look at that. Beautiful. Thank you, Sue. This stuff is great. Handmade, and might I say, in America. America. Florida. USA. Thank you, Sue. So we have to ask, and if you can believe, if you can suspend your membership in the Matrix for just a moment. Remember the Matrix, everybody, where Neo was encapsulated quite literally in one of those pods, and then the sick and demented, because in real life they're sick and demented directors, panned out. It was great direction though. Panned out, and they showed you just the towers and towers and towers of little pods with people thinking that they were in real life, but they were in a matrix. Their bodies were suspended in some sort of goo, amniotic fluid, if you will, and their minds were trapped in a matrix of AI, of a construct. It was science fiction, but it pertains way too closely to reality. So if you are caught in that matrix, extricate yourself for just a second, and consider that there is a ruling faction over this worldly system. Now, the Bible tells us it's Satan himself. I am learning more and more as I get older to believe what the Bible says. Yes, it is Satan. Now, those who follow him, okay, they've concentrated power in certain families. I'm not going to mention names right here. We're on Facebook, so you know that Facebook is a state-run social media outlet. I'll get into that some other time. I've already done it before. LifeLog. Look up LifeLog. So on Facebook, I'm going to have to tread lightly because we are entering the pitch of the battle. I want to be able to speak to you on Facebook, so there's certain details I can't get into, but I can offer my assistance. Again, contact me, please, if you want more info. However, the fact of the matter remains. We are at war. And this agency, this entity, whatever you want to call it, deep state, usual suspects, whatever you want to call it, they're ramping up. Why? Because they've lost control. The patriots are in control. The people that recruited Donald Trump to run for president are this close from completing the counterinsurgency. We, ladies and gentlemen, Lord willing, if we live that long, I'm just saying 6 months a year, are going to get a better look over the horizon. We're going to get a better look at the new America. And America, as it already has been doing, I believe, see Argentina, El Salvador, even Russia. All rising tides raise all boats. And God is using America, I believe, to rise the tide, to raise the tide. And we're helping out people, helping out nations. But it's a group of patriots from here in America, okay, that are doing all this. So the questions we ought to ask, back to that, the questions of these two incidents is, one, who really was behind it? ISIS was on the back of that flag, or that ISIS flag was on the back of that pickup truck. Who is ISIS? Now we're going somewhere. Who is ISIS? Who funds ISIS? Let me submit this for you. Let me clear this up right now. ISIS is us. The same people within our government who funded the Mujahideen, I believe in the 70s, radicalized Islam for their own purposes. Then it goes on to Taliban, Al-Qaeda. It's on to ISIS now. Why didn't Barack Hussein eliminate ISIS when he could? Why? I wonder. Why is it that Vlad Putin had to finally put the final nail in their coffin? Because Barack Hussein is owned, just like Biden is owned, just like Bush is owned, Cheney owned, all of them owned by the same criminal syndicate. Why do you think they hate Donald Trump so much? Because he's not owned. They can't buy him. He was recruited. I'll give you that. He was recruited. I'll give you that. He was recruited by patriots in the U.S. military. Otter, Where's your tinfoil hat? It's at the office. But what I will tell you is that if you start asking the right questions and you look in the right places, you might find answers that they do not want you to find. And me, as someone who's gone through this catharsis, if you will, I can give you some of these answers. Not all of them. I'm not the burning bush. I can give you some of these answers, or at least set you on the path to seeing them and finding them. bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com, or, and I think this one's more secure, bitcoinotter@secure, SEKUR.com. So I'm willing to point you in the direction that I've gone for many years. Elon Musk says this on X: the evil knuckleheads picked the wrong vehicle for a terrorist attack. Cybertruck actually contained the explosion and directed the blast upwards. Not even the glass doors of the lobby were broken. Very nice. I'm never going to buy a Cybertruck unless they come out with real Tesla technology. You know what I mean? And wokeness on X. The media actually tried to pass this off as a battery explosion. The media is your enemy, ladies and gentlemen. Don't take my word for it. But if you want to, I can save you a lot of pain. They are your enemy. Zero Hedge. Read between the lies. A pattern recognition guide. Guys, gals, don't have a lot of time left. We're running on an hour, almost. This time goes by so fast. I'm having fun. Thank you for watching, listening. We're on 97.7 FM, KCYP, the city, out of McAllen. Joe Martinez's YouTube, his Facebook, and Christopher Ott's Facebook, and Bitcoin Otter Facebook page and YouTube. This guy, who writes for various outputs, he's on Substack, if you really want to enjoy his stuff. Josh Stylman, Stylman. He's written some really, really good stuff. Little deep, gonna have to put your thinking cap on, but you're a big girl, you're a big boy, you can do it. When Avril Haines, Director of National Intelligence, announced during Event 201's pandemic drill in 2019, let me read that again. Event 201's pandemic drill in 2019. Yes, these same suspects, these usual suspects, planned the pandemic in 2020 by having an event, an international event, to plan it all out. That they would flood the zone with trusted sources. Few understood this preview of coordinated narrative control. Within months, we watched it unfold in real time. Unified messaging across all platforms, suppression of dissent, and coordinated narrative control that fooled much of the world. I remember that. Not fondly, but I remember that. Matt, I know you remember it. You were part of it. You got kicked off of Twitter. I was censored. I told everybody how to cure COVID because my daughter used the method that I, respectfully put out there on Twitter. Oh man, I think it was 10 days. I was canceled, suspended, whatever, because I told the truth. I told the truth. It worked right here in my house. But not everyone stayed fooled forever. Matt says, lifetime ban. Chihuahuas, Matt. Dude, carry that as a badge, my friend. You should have that framed like I have the founding documents. Maybe get my sister to put on a plaque for you. Or Jim O'Rourke to make a huge flag. And then here will be your lifetime ban during the pandemic. See, these are the types of people that I like, that I hang around with it. Thank you, Matt. But not everyone stayed fooled forever. Some saw through it immediately, questioning every aspect from day one. That was us. That was us. Others thought it was just incompetent government trying to protect us. That's a fool's errand. That's a fool's concept. Don't be fooled. Incompetence. Don't let that enter into anyone's thought process. If you want to sift it, if you want to put it through the crucible of logic and applied critical thinking skills, go for it. But don't ever for a minute think that these crimes against humanity are due to merely incompetent people. Many initially accepted the precautionary principle, better safe than sorry. But as each policy failure pointed in the same direction, toward more control and less human agency, the pattern became impossible to ignore. Anyone not completely subsumed by the system, if you've been educated at a higher level, you might not. Subsumed means oppressed. So if you got like 3 degrees and you've gone to institutions called universities, you might not have the acumen for that particular word. But subsumed means that you have been completely defeated in the area and the battle of ideas by the matrix, the usual suspects who own the university systems around America. Anyone not completely subsumed by the system eventually had to confront its true purpose, not protecting health or safety, but expanding control. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this young man, I don't know, he sounds like a young man. He sounds like a, how would you say, what was that Rush song? New World Man. New World Man. Josh Stylman, Stylman. You can find him on Substack or just look him up on Grok or Brave browser. Don't use the G word. Josh Stylman. This guy writes at an amazing level. Amazing. New York Times is buffoonery compared to the way this guy writes. New York Times is buffoonery anyway. Jackassery. If buffoonery is not a word, I'll use jackassery. This one, ladies and gents, is from Texas Scorecard. Sustains Act sparks debate. Private property advocates warn of federal overreach. Oh, gee, federal overreach? You don't say. Sustains Act was defeated because it wasn't even voted on, and I think 2022. So the Sustains Act is not dead because, and let me read this from Texas Scorecard. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is preparing to implement the Biden-Harris administration's Sustains Act, which aims to regulate who will own environmental services. Catherine Austin Fitts in an interview, and if I get to do this quickly, I'll get you into something that genius woman, Catherine Austin Fitts, declared in a recent interview that I watched. When I just read that the federal government, through the Sustains Act that was not passed, is overreaching into your private property because they will regulate who will own environmental services. Do you know what they consider environmental services now? Photosynthesis is an environmental service that the federal government owns. Do you have grass on your property? You may own that grass. You may think you own that grass, but you know what you don't own according to the federal government under the Biden-Harris administration? You don't own photosynthesis, they do. They own photosynthesis. So if you do something with your lawn, or if you're a farmer with your field that they don't like, that affects photosynthesis, consider yourself theirs. Your ass is grass and they're going to mow it. That fit in well. They think they own photosynthesis. That's only one. They own evaporation. Evaporation! They own it. The federal government claims to own evaporation because it's, what did they say? What are these idiots? Environmental service. They own the environment and all of its services. Ladies and gentlemen, get your head out of your pod. If you're in a pod, you're in the matrix. If you're in the matrix, you're subsumed by the usual suspects. You've been subsumed by the Matrix if you think that you want to watch TV. If you gain any ideas from television, you've been subsumed by the Matrix. I can assure you, if you're going to college, the Matrix is attempting to subsume you, to oppress your ideas, to oppress your thought process, to direct it. They do claim reign, Sue. Sue out just asked, do they claim reign? Yes, they do. We only have to go to Oregon, which I don't think I'll ever go, but we only have to go to Oregon to see that you can't collect rainwater. You cannot collect rainwater in some places. In the God-blessed land of the free and the home of the brave, America, there are some places where you cannot collect rainwater. Illegal. Because again, according to the Sustains Act, that was never passed, the federal government is claiming ownership over all environmental services. Ladies and gentlemen, we've gone over a little bit. This was an enjoyable show for me for many different reasons. And hi, Dad. If Dad's watching, I don't know, Sue, is Dad watching? I love you, Dad. Glad you're watching if you are. If not, I still love you. I'll tell you what. I appreciate every last one of you. Everyone who's watching this right now live and everyone who is going to watch this throughout the week. You have any questions? Bitcoin Otter at secure.com, SEKUR.com. They can't steal that. They can't hijack it, that particular company. Or bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com. If you want to learn more about the things we talked about today, I'm giving it away. And I'm not telling you that next week I'm going to raise the price because there isn't a price. This is what we do here. This is the Bitcoin Otter Private Membership Association. Okay? A nonprofit, faith in God, private membership association. If you want to join it, if you ever want to join it, I'll send you the membership form. Not a problem. Not a problem. There's a future, Lord willing, for the Bitcoin Otter PMA. But I got a day job. Got a night job. So I'm not going to get jumping into that just yet. But Lord willing, with the boost to this economy that's coming, I will hopefully be able to retire next year. We'll see. And this bull run that I want to help you guys through, I want to help you navigate through it. I want to help you. Sue says, tell him to send the bill to the Lord. Yes. Dad says hi. Hi, Dad. I will. You know, God has paid our bill through his son, Lord Jesus Christ. Our bill was high. Our bill was, I'll speak for me. My bill was way too much. I could never pay it. Jesus stepped in and said, gotcha. So I'm forever grateful. Stressing the forever. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming together. Got some things behind me if you're just now tuning in. Rewind a little bit. Jim O'Rourke made me that flag for Christmas. Suat made me the plaque. You like it? Get with me. I'll hook you up. I love you guys. I thank you. And I pray for you. I literally pray for you. As my peeps, my brothers, my sisters, people of like minds, and even those that are not of like minds. Still love you. You're human. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. And God bless you. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.